So everybody seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
Uh, okay. Yeah. Yes, and everybody also clear with the exception handling, try catch block, checked and unchecked exceptions, and then exception hierarchy, and then throws keyword. Everybody clear with this?
Mhm.
Okay. So, friends, this is exception hierarchy, and you have to keep this diagram in your mind because we are going to use it. Currently, we are dealing only with exceptions. Exception. You would also deal with the error in Selenium. You will deal every time you will deal with the exception, but once there is a situation in Selenium when you need to deal with the error.
Mhm.
So for dealing with the error, you have to remember that error class and exception class, both are child classes of throwable class, right? Hello,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rupa, have you joined?
Yeah.
Good morning, good evening.
Yeah. Good evening, Ramesh.
So you understand this part?
Yeah.
Okay. Gaurav?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. I just got one question. You mean the error in the program that you're
Yeah.
testing?
Yeah. Error in the program. There will be some kind of error. It's similar to a similar kind of thing like exception, but
Mhm.
it's a different like there is a assertion error.
Okay.
You will see assertion error in the program. You also face out of memory error. Like when
Okay.
you face out of memory error, at that time JVM just shuts down. You cannot do anything about it, right?
Mhm.
So the error and exception both are child classes of throwable. I have a
So like what I like what
yes,
the error is system created and the program is the result of our actions. Exception.
error is similar kind of thing like exception. Like exception also terminates a program. It also terminates and it also shut down the JVM and are irrecoverable. Only this thing, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay. So on that day, on in my previous lecture, I told you about throws. Throws the keyword which is declared at a method level, right? Now I'm going to tell you there is also one more keyword throw with which you can deliberately throw an exception, right?
Mhm.
And Jevant, are you here? Okay, I think Jevant is not able to talk. Jevant, you can.
So can
Hello,
so can
Hello.
Jevant, you can message in the chat.
Mhm.
Okay, there is already one message in the chat.
He said okay.
Okay,
He says I am in.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is that we can throw any deliberate exception, like here in the exception handling, right? You can. I will give you a scenario, like sometimes you don't find an element on a web page, and then you want to catch it, and while catching it, you also want to throw and run a new exception so that you want that your program end abruptly and does not do anything further. At that time, what you do is and that you can throw an exception, like I throw an exception, throw new, I throw any exception, arithmetic exception.
That's arithmetic, go
Yeah, arithmetic
to
exception.
R-A-R-I, okay, that's
You can throw any exception actually.
right. Okay.
But I tell you that I am deliberate exception and a control S. Do you know that why this program is not compiling? Tell me, according to your knowledge, why it is throwing an error? Hmm? Why it is throwing an error on good?
No,
Because
Because
it doesn't go to the next line.
yes, ma'am, that's it. This code becomes unreachable, right?
Right.
Because whenever an exception is thrown, the program ends abruptly, terminates. So you have to write this line, and the computer knows about it. So it's a compile time error. You have to write this line above this. Okay.
oh,
And then you will throw an error. And when you will throw an error, there will be arithmetic exception with this line. This is the message.
oh, okay. It's an or.
Yeah,
That's where that is, yeah.
just telling whenever I shut down, I can write anything. Even I can write that my program has end abruptly as from arithmetic divided by 0. Oh, it's in the above line also there is an exception, right? Where it is. Exception in class Java 41. Okay. Yeah, now it will work. See, see, friends, what happens is that you can give any message. Like I can give uh, uh, the exception occurred because I am unable to find an element and catching screenshot. You can write anything, right? Similarly, what I did is that I throw runtime exception here, and I mostly I throw runtime exception over here because the just there is no reason that why I don't throw arithmetic and why I always like to throw runtime. So there is no reason. There is a reason is that I like runtime exception more. There is if I want to throw any exception, most of the times I use runtime exception, right?
Mhm.
And friends, also I learned throws keyword and throw keyword. How I learned it that with throws we apply s. That's why we can give multiple exception here, and it will be at method level. And with throw we don't apply s, and it we cannot give plural, and we give only one exception here. So it will be applied for throwing a single exception. This way I have learned it. I also forget that throws or throw, which one to use at where. But this way I learn it. Okay. Okay. Now the finally block. The finally block is the block which always and always runs, no matter whether the exception has occurred or not occurred. This block is always going to run. See, I will show you. Unless file not found exception. File not found exception has occurred before a try. That's why it has not gone in the try block. But if the try block gets executed, right? If the try block executed, right here, which exception will occur? Array index out of bounds exception will occur here,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes, sir.
even if the exception doesn't occur, then also finally block will be called, and if the exception occurs, then also finally block will always be called. It will always and always run. You are seeing that,
Mhm.
right? And if I even comment these lines, right, and there is no exception, even then finally block will always run, right? It has run, right?
Mhm.
So finally is a block which is optional. First of all, it is optional block. Control Z, and it is optional block. It can be applied directly with the try, or it can be it applied with catch, try catch, but it cannot be applied only with catch, right? A try has to be there, and this block always and always runs, whether there is an exception or not, right? So this block always and always runs. It will always and always run. Okay. So this point clear to you, everyone?
Mhm.
Okay. So last thing before starting with the Java, I'm Just telling you, I'm creating a new class here. Right. And I'm writing main class. Main class. Okay. And yeah, that's right. Okay. Public main class control. Yeah. Uh, control and enter this. This is the main method. Control E. You know, na, for formatting, there is control I. Do control A and control I for formatting it. Right?
Oh, good to know. I didn't know.
Okay, good, good. Okay. There is the string string A1 is equal to AMIT, Amit, right? And I do string string A2 is equal to, this is some extra thing which I have not written in the PPT. Okay. This is insert close P1 and here this, right?
Mhm.
So I write sys out out route A1 A1 plus this plus A2. So this is clear to you?
Yep.
You have no problem. Anyone don't have any problem in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I will run it, it will just print Ahmed Diwan with the space, right?
No.
So now my thing is that no one has ever asked me that what is this. No one has ever asked me that why do we give this kind of thing. What does this mean?
Argument.
Using command line.
Your argument. It's
Arguments
your
of
right.
of
String.
string or and
Array.
array. Arguments of
Right.
string
And
array.
string array.
Yes, friends, this is an argument of string array. Okay. Okay. In our workspace, as file explorer. Okay, and I have to go in the E drive and workspace 2020. I think, yeah, this project Java CMD. We created Java CMD,
Mm-hmm.
right? And right now we are working in which project? We are working in we are working in starting Java Proj. Okay. We are working in a starting Java approach, right? And in SRC, and then in COM, then in exception handling package. Yeah, main class. I just copy it from here, Control C, and I do Control E, Java Workspace 2020, and I write Java CMD, and I write this here, main class as in Java CMD, and I did it with Notepad++.
Mhm.
Right. Now I am going to do one more thing. Uh, okay, first I remove the package here, package name here, because there is no package, right? And I also remove this space over here. Okay, now tell me one thing. If you want to use this out, so if you want to use the arguments of string which are given args of 0 plus this this plus args of 1, right? Mhm. Not comma, and this thing also I have to delete, right? And this thing I also have to delete. Yes. Oh, yeah. And this thing, no, right? Right?
Mhm.
ARGS of 0 and 1. I am using the two variables from where I am using it. Actually, I have declared an array. I have given it as an argument. Okay.
Mhm.
I have given the string array as an argument. That's right, to the main method. And there is a way how I can access this array.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I just comment out these lines. Okay. And friend, just tell me when I will open the CMD here. Okay. And compile, for compilation, which command?
Java C.
Right, Java C
Three.
main class.java. That's right.
Mhm.
Space CPU1 lowercase.
Okay. And now to run it,
Java
what I have to do? I have to write Java main class,
space.
and after that I
Value.
gave the first argument Amit, then I give the second argument Diwan with the space.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so it will take the both the arguments. And if Gaurav, this question is for you. If I don't give any argument, then what will happen?
Class name or file name.
Gaurav,
Let's see.
then what will happen?
And also it will print.
Robert, there is a one chocolate pending for you, and now there
Uh,
will be a second chocolate if you will give the right answer.
um, I guess, but you comment out that that, oh yeah,
The-
it'll be omit the one because it's a memory.
Ma- um, Man, you have used the arguments of an array, right? And
Right.
you are not giving the elements to an array. Then what kind of exception do you get?
Oh, okay. No, no pointer.
No,
No.
no. Array index out of bounds exception.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You will get array index
Out
of
of
out
bounds.
of bounds
Out of
exception
bounds.
because you have not declared this. Even if you will give one argument that is at index 0, you have not given index 1, then you will also get array index out of bounds exception,
Okay, so you need both.
right? Yeah.
But if you go back in the program and put
Yeah.
that in an array, then you do that to some Java masterclass, it would run.
This was the way you declared both of the array arguments in the program, right?
Right.
In the you have run the program from the CMD, and now I want to run the program from the Eclipse. And
Right.
even if you comment out this line, then there will be no problem. But if you are using this kind of thing, that you are providing the arguments to the main method from the you want to give the arguments when you are running the program, and just go to run configurations. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
You need to go to run configurations, and from here you need to go to arguments, and you need to provide program arguments. I provide any, like I provide Ravi, then I provide Chopra, right? Anything. Then it will, when I will run it, it will print Ravi Chopra, right? And if I will, sorry, again I have run it. If I will again do the same thing, I will remove this and I don't give any argument and I run it, then I will get
Right. Out of index.
index out of
Out of
bounds.
it, out of bounds.
This
Okay.
thing, this is a way we can give the user input, right?
Okay, so if you put an array in there and put args 0 equals emit and arg 1 equals the one, you would get, you won't get an exception.
Right. Integer dot say int T this plus, oh sorry, args of 0, right? Uh, C and arg 0, then plus this, then plus and control V, So, one and here we have one extra. Uh, uh, so this line clear to you or you have confusion in this?
Clear.
Okay,
Rupa?
Yeah. What does parson do?
Converting.
Percent converts a string into
Int. Okay. Okay.
into number. Okay.
Yeah.
And now I will go to run as. Then I will go to run configurations. And then I will provide the number here. I will provide 20 and I will provide 30. Okay. The two arguments I have provided here. And you will see its sum is 50. Right. So any confusion or it clear?
mhm.
Is
Yes.
it clear? Clear?
Yes.
So I am telling you that's the way we can give the user input to the main method, and then the program will run. Okay, you can you can do anything when you give user input, but it's in the form of a string. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, friends. So that's it for Java. And today it's time for you to see the WebDriver script. So all of you understand what is Selenium?
Mhm.
No, sir.
What is Selenium? Tell me.
Uh,
What is, according to you, not complete definition, according to you, what is it?
It's a tool that allows you to um, automatically test software.
Very good. It's a
It's
very
record
near,
and run.
yeah, and friends, first of all, this is very important lecture. Like in a Java, the lecture one was very important because I told you about JVM in class loader, and that were very important to understand the whole of Java. Similarly, this lecture is again important to understand the architecture of a Java program, architecture of any Selenium script. Okay, so I'm going to explain you about the Selenium architectural flow, which is happening. And friends, please understand the Selenium is a tool with which it is possible to automate it. First you learn that anything within a browser, right?
Mhm.
So it is possible to automate browsers in a Selenium. Then it is also possible to automate mobile devices and desktop applications, but that is also possible in Selenium. We will just see. Okay,
Mhm.
so what is Selenium? Selenium is a free and open source of tools for automating web applications across different platforms and browsers, right?
Mhm.
And Selenium WebDriver is an API, which is a software that allows two applications to talk to each other. Now, what is an API?
Application program interface.
Programming.
Very good. You know it. And you also know what's the meaning of API.
Mhm.
No, sir.
I tell you. Like like Gaurav has developed some programs in .NET language. Like Gaurav has developed a program to calculate the weather of any city in .NET, and now Rupa is working in Java language. And she either she writes the whole code again for getting the weather from weather of any city, or he uses the Gaurav program. Okay, but Gaurav has written in Java .NET, and Rupa is working in Java. So Gaurav will what Gaurav will do? Gaurav will expose the his program in the form of XML uh, uh, in the outer universe. And what Rupa will do, Rupa will go to that place in the universe and fetch that XML and read that XML and do her work. Simply, simple API is a way which allows the two applications to talk to each other.
Mhm.
Very simple. So I told you that XML. XML is a query language which everyone understands, which even Java understands, which even .NET understands, which other language Ruby, Python understands. And now nowadays, what happened is one another language known as JSON, just on. This is JavaScript object notation.
Mhm.
I will be showing you it. So this is the language which is which is further improved, or you can say which is a father of XML. Now this language came. Now Gaurav will expose his program in JSON language, and Rupa will fetch that program from that JSON. Simple. And another thing that it's now it's Gaurav wish that whether he wants to give his program free of cost or he wants to provide some authentication so that he can charge anything from Rupa. It's Gaurav wish. But the API is that I have told you. The API is a way two applications talk to each other, whether in the form of XML or in the form of JSON. Right?
Right.
Okay. So
Right.
you understand that why we say that we can work with Selenium in different languages. This is the reason, man, why we can work with Selenium in different languages. Because Selenium has, see, like like this. This is a set of classes and interfaces which I have developed, right? All this.
Mhm.
So I just give it the name Amit Software. Just give it a name.
Mhm.
And I expose these classes to outer universe. Okay. And I said that you can work with Amit's API. So API is nothing. It's just a set of classes and interfaces which uh, uh, which can be used by any other person also, right? When
Right.
I have exposed all this in the form of API, then it depends on you whether you want to work in Java or .NET or Ruby or Python or any other. It will depend on you, right? But I have exposed it. Similarly, what WebDriver has done? WebDriver has also written some classes and interfaces, right?
Mhm.
And then they exposed it to the outer universe. and anyone working with it uh, says I am using WebDriver API. Got this point,
Mhm.
Yes.
Rupa?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is why I am saying WebDriver API is easy to explore and understand and integrates very easily with third-party tools and APIs. There can also be other APIs like there is an API to read an Excel. There is an API to read something, do something else.
Mhm.
If someone has written a software to read a Excel, we will say that is a Excel API. You don't have to. It's not a complex thing. Just everything classes and interfaces are API when they are exposed to other applications. Selenium is most primarily used for web automation on desktop browser, but it
Mhm.
is much more capable with some third-party tools like APM for mobile automation. Friend, I tell you that WebDriver API, it is very powerful. WebDriver API, these classes and interfaces you also use for Selenium WebDriver browser automation, and it can also be used for mobile automation. It can also be used for desktop application, but with the help of some server running behind, like APM server is running for mobile applications, and like there is a WinApp driver that does a
Mhm.
desktop automation. So WinApp driver will run behind for automating desktop applications, but we will
Okay.
be doing only web automation,
Okay.
right?
Right.
So you know the complete definition of Selenium is a tool with which automation is we can automate browsers, and we can also automate mobile and desktop application with some server running behind it. Okay,
Mhm.
Selenium has supports a broad range of browsers, technologies and platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since Selenium is a well-known antidote for mercury poisoning, and Mercury was the company who originally made QTP, so Selenium team kept its name. And this point is like this, friends. Uh, do you know QTP?
Yeah.
Quick Test
But
Professional,
right. But it
right?
uses
It's also like it's also used for automating browsers, and
right.
it's a paid tool actually.
But it uses Visual Basic,
Yeah.
not
Uh,
not.
a- and friends, actually, what is the thing? The thing is that QTP is from a company named Mercury first, but now QTP has been purchased by HP, and they have changed its name to UFT. But first, it was from Mercury.
No, ALM. ALM.
EOM.
HPALM. Yeah. It used to be HPQC, Quality Center. Now it's ALM.
No,
um,
even before that, it was Mercury.
Before that,
Yeah,
2004.
before that, yeah, in 2005.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before Mercury was the one who actually developed QTP, and it was taken
Right.
over by HP.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's a different platform. I think it's C Sharp, and then they made it. HP made it Visual Basic.
Yeah. Groundwork is same always.
Yeah.
They, anyone might have created anything, but if the ground is not there, then who will create what? The
Hmm.
ground. So Mercury was the company who created QTP, and then the people uh, created Selenium. It was
Hmm.
from the company. I will showing you in the next slide that it was from the company ThoughtWorks. ThoughtWorks was the company who developed Selenium, an engineer from ThoughtWorks. And at that time, Mercury was very famous in 2004. Hmm?
Mhm. Mhm.
Then those people thought that what name we can keep. And then they thought that if someone eats selenium, if some human eats selenium, the only antidote we can give for the poisoning of if someone eats mercury, sorry, if some human eats mercury, the only antidote for mercury is selenium. That's why they kept
Mhm.
its name as selenium.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the diagram on the right side, that it is used for web-based automation testing. It can be used in multiple OS, multiple browsers, multiple programming languages, multiple frameworks, and it is open source, right?
Mhm.
So yes, Suren. Uh, uh, Actually, I am talking. I had told you about friend. I have told you about the API, and that is a set of classes and interfaces, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
And one way is I want to give all these classes and interfaces to Gaurav, right? One way is I need to create it API and give it to Gaurav, and but that's a very complex thing and a next level thing. And it's not covered in Java. API is totally uh, uh, taught separately, right? Now the thing is that Gaurav, I need to give this all the things to Gaurav. Hmm? How I can give it? One way is I just give the whole folder to Gaurav, right? And the second way is I just I just compress all these files and create the archive of this and give it to Gaurav, right? So the archive which I create in the Windows, you know that it is named as zip,
Mm.
right? So the archive that which I create in Java is known as jar, JAR. It means Java archive.
Mm.
Jar itself means Java archive. Okay.
Yes.
So I this utility to create a jar of all the interfaces and programs is present in the JDK itself. Okay. When you will see the bin of JDK, there's a jar command,
Mhm.
right? It so you when I will I can give all this I can compress all this and I can give it to Gaurav using jar, right?
Mm.
So everyone understand that what is the jar,
Yes.
Gaurav?
Yes, sir.
What is a jar?
Collection of all the.
Jar is a
We did it for sorry.
File.
compressed version. Yeah,
Yes,
tell completely, yaar.
compressed version. Yes, sir.
Compressed version of classes and interfaces, and full form of jar is
Java archive.
Java archive.
Java archive.
right. It's a Java archive. Okay.
25%.
Okay. Now I want to teach you about this diagram. Okay. So this diagram is that uh, 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 how the Selenium WebDriver flows. what is the architecture of WebDriver? First, I will teach you something else. Selenium invention, Selenium, WebDriver invention, Selenium grade various tools comparison. Yeah, this. Let's see. I want to teach you about Selenium. Uh, First of all, when we talk of a Selenium, Selenium is not a single tool. It is a set of tools. That's why we name it as Selenium Suite, right? There are 4 tools which are there in Selenium Suite. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid, right? Now, first of all, Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE is just a plugin in the Firefox, and now only recently they have also started it as a plugin in Chrome browser. So it's a plugin for Firefox and Chrome browser, right?
Mm.
It's just a plugin. So with this plugin, we can only record and play our we can only record what we are doing on the browser, and then we can play it, right? But we cannot create complex scripts with the Selenium IDE. We cannot use iterations. We cannot use those conditions and loops on Selenium in Selenium IDE. So that's why we are not going to cover Selenium IDE, because Selenium IDE is just another component with which record and play is possible, and it is not useful and is not used in the organizations, right?
Mhm.
What we are going to do is Selenium WebDriver. And what is Selenium WebDriver? The Selenium WebDriver is a third component. But actually, when Selenium developed, it was developed as Selenium RC,
Mm.
right? It was first developed as Selenium RC. RC means remote control.
Mhm.
And then some other person came. He developed Selenium. He developed a WebDriver. And then WebDriver and Selenium RC both joined, both merged together to create a Selenium WebDriver or Selenium 2. This is Selenium. We are going to do Selenium 2. And now there are new and improved methods. So Selenium 3 came into market, and we are covering Selenium 3 actually. And very shortly, some more new and improved methods are coming, and they are named as Selenium 4,
Mhm.
right? And the fourth component is Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid we are going to cover, and it is it is in the later parts that we are going to do about Selenium Grid, and it is about all about parallel automation.
Oh.
Is all about parallel automation. Selenium Grid, that how will you will run two browsers or two systems at the same time. So this is all about Selenium Grid, and we are going to do it later. I will give you more light about the Selenium Grid in the one slide only now. But these 4 components are clear to you?
Mhm. Oh, yeah, one question.
Yeah.
Amit.
Hmm.
So if you're using a Chrome or Firefox browser to test, would you use Selenium IDE, or is it covered in WebDriver?
Uh, what I told you. I told you that Selenium IDE is available only as a plugin in the Chrome and Firefox browser, and we are
Okay.
not going to do it.
No,
Now
no,
we
I just asked you if you have that type of browser. Would you use?
and now listen to me.
Okay.
Now we are going to do Selenium RC plus WebDriver, Selenium 2 or Selenium 3.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to do this selenium 3 we are going to do which is created by merge of selenium rc and webdriver which covers every browser are available. It covers it covers chrome, it covers firefox, it covers
Oh,
opera,
oh,
it covers
okay, okay,
ie,
okay.
it covers IE, it covers Safari.
Mm-hmm.
More of the more options are available in the WebDriver. Selenium IDE is only and only a record and playback tool in Chrome and Firefox browser. Okay,
Okay, okay.
and then we are also going to cover Selenium Grid, and the grid is used for parallel automation, which you will be doing after 12 or 15 lectures, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the these are the four components of selenium which are very necessary to understand, and this is also a question in the interview. Many people ask. Gaurav, clear to you
Yes, sir.
what is selenium ide and what is selenium webdriver?
Yes, sir.
What is IDE?
Sir, RC and driver, they are combined or both,
To
not
create
foreign
Selenium WebDriver. And what is Selenium IDE?
and integrated
It's,
development just to record the things.
it's a plugin in
It's a
Chrome and
plugin in
Firefox.
Firefox. Right. Okay. Now about this diagram. So this diagram is that I told you about Selenium 2 or Selenium 3, that is known as Selenium WebDriver. So when we started Java, we started with how the Java program flows. Now I'm telling you how the WebDriver program flows, right? Selenium WebDriver program flows, or what is the architecture behind it? Okay, so there are four components: Selenium client library. Then the second component is JSON wire protocol over HTTP, and the third is browser drivers, and the fourth is real browsers. So anyone clear with the REST API automation?
Mm-hmm.
Robert, you know how the REST API works?
How the what REST or API? I
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't know how it
Okay.
works.
Okay. No problem. Okay. I just told you that these classes and interfaces can be created in the form of a jar.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah. Then, I'm just telling another thing. I'm telling
All right.
that these classes and interfaces are available in the form of a jar, and just name it as amit.jar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you will work with Selenium, you will need to work with the Selenium classes and interfaces. Is that right?
Yes.
That you need to work with Selenium classes and interfaces. So if I need to work on someone else classes and interfaces, then I will need that jar in my program. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in my project, not program, but in my project. If I want to work on Rupa's classes and interfaces, I will need Rupa jar. right? The first thing is that if I need to create a if I need to create a project in any language, I will need their classes and interfaces. So these classes and interfaces are known as a client library client library like Amit client library, Rupa client library, and also if a third party like Selenium client libraries. Client library are the third party classes and interfaces or third party jars, right? So these jars, if you are working in Java project, Selenium client library is available in the form of a jar, JAR. And if you are
Mhm.
working in Python, then it's available in the form of a Python installer package. And the Ruby, it is available in the form of a gem. And in the C Sharp, I don't know. But Selenium client library, you are clear with it? That
Mhm.
what is Selenium
Yes, sir.
client library? Rupa?
Clients like
It is, yeah, it is a set, it is a set of classes and interface
Yes,
from
it's a
Selenium.
from Selenium. So the first thing, if we need to work in the Selenium project, we need to include Selenium jar in a Java project. Is that right? Okay. Now there are this whole diagram shows how the Selenium command goes and what the Selenium command do and how it propagates with the real browser. Browser can be anyone. It can be Chrome, it can be Firefox, IE or Opera or Safari. But this diagram just shows you how how it flows.
Mhm.
Gaurav,
yes, sir.
you have to understand this very clearly, and then after that I will be completed, then you have to tell me. Okay, so
Okay.
listen it. Well, uh, like I have a Selenium client library in Java or in any language, and it issues a command. Okay, this a client library issues a command, like I issue a command that open a browser, or I issue a command that that send keys, fill keys in this element, or I issue a command click on this element. All these commands, when I provide it, these commands are converted into JSON. JSON. JSON means JavaScript Object Notation. It's another language, another query language like XML, and it's more improved. If you have seen it, then it's good. It's a more improved language which allows us to communicate in the form of a API. Okay, so there is a component. There are, first of all, please listen. There are four components in the Selenium flow. First is Selenium client library. Second is JSON wire protocol. Third is browser drivers, and fourth is real browsers. Okay. So whenever we will issue a command from a Selenium client library, that command will go to JSON wire protocol and it will be converted into JSON. Then the command will go to third component, which are browser drivers. The role of the browser driver is to send this command, which has been converted into JSON, to real browser. And every browser driver has a HTTP server within it. So browser driver sends the JSON to the real browser over HTTP server, right? So what is it? What that happens is client library issues a command, then it goes to JSON wire protocol. It converts it into JSON, and then the browser driver sends the command, sends the JSON to the real browser over HTTP, right? Uh, and so it means that we also need to have browser drivers on our computer to work with Selenium. So there are two things which are required to work in Selenium project. The first is Selenium client library, and second is browser drivers,
Mhm.
right? Browser
Right.
drivers are like an executable file. They are available on Selenium website, which I will show you in the next lecture, that how you can download it. But the thing is that we need browser drivers for working with real browsers. And friends, there is a separate browser driver for every browser. Like for Firefox, there is a separate Firefox driver. IE, there is a separate. Chrome, there is a separate. Opera, there is a separate. Safari, there is a separate. And every browser driver is known as Firefox driver, IE driver, Chrome driver, right?
Right. So where's the driver? Where does it sit?
Hmm?
Where does the driver sit? Where is it a file in Windows or
That I will. It's an executable file. It's an
affect you?
executable
Okay,
file on the Windows. And
on Windows.
how we will get it in our script? That is a separate thing. That I will
Okay.
tell you later. But the
Right.
thing is that we need browser drivers. Now, friends, every browser driver has the same name, like a real browser. Like Chrome has a Chrome driver, IE has a IE driver, Opera has a Opera driver. But for Firefox, somehow they keep a different name. For Firefox, the name is Gecko driver. GECKO,
Eco.
right?
Mhm.
So the thing is, I explain you again this whole diagram. The client library issues a command. The command goes to JSON wire protocol and is converted into JSON. Then the browser driver. The role of browser driver is to send a JSON command over HTTP to the real browser. Now, the real browser performs that action which has been sent by browser driver, and then takes the response, converts it into JSON, or the for the JSON request there is JSON response. It gives the JSON response back to the browser driver over HTTP server, and the browser driver gives that JSON to JSON via protocol. JSON via protocol converts it and sends the response to Selenium client library. Right?
Right.
Yes.
So this is the flow. The Selenium, now understand. The Selenium WebDriver is also known as WebDriver alone, also known as Selenium 2 or Selenium 3 or Selenium 4, and is also known as JSON wire protocol. Now you know the why it is known as JSON wire protocol, right?
Mhm.
Selenium WebDriver is a JSON wire protocol, which means RESTful web service using JSON over HTTP. JavaScript object notation JSON is used to transfer data between a server and a client on a web. Right, friends?
Mhm.
This flow of data transfer happens over four components: Selenium client library, JSON wire protocol, browser drivers, and real browsers.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Now I have given explanation of each component. Selenium client libraries or language bindings. Selenium library is available in many languages like Java, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, PHP, etc. To work on Selenium project, we have to include Selenium library in our project. In Java, Selenium library is available in the form of a jar. Jar means Java archive and its collection of classes and interfaces. JSON wire protocol over HTTP client, second component. It is responsible to understand the command issued by Selenium language binding and convert it into JSON. JSON wire protocol sends data in JSON format to the server. Server is browser driver, which first parses and then executes the data. After that, response given by the server is sent back to the client in the JSON format. Right? JSON wire JSON wire protocol again converts back the data from JSON to the client specific library. Right? Third component, browser driver. Each browser contains a separate browser driver. For example, Chrome driver, IE driver, Gecko driver. You have to keep the browser driver on the client machine. Each browser driver has its own HTTP server. Browser driver communicates with the respective browser without revealing the internal logic of browser's functionality. When a browser driver receives a JSON request, it will be sent to respective browser over HTTP, and the HTTP response will go back in the form of a JSON. Real browsers receive the request from respective browser driver and performs an action. For post request, action will be performed on the browser. For get request, a response will be generated at a browser and it will be sent over HTTP to the browser driver. So clear to you?
Yes.
Gaurav,
Yes, sir.
can you explain me the second?
Yes, sir. Sir, like in architecture, we have this for Selenium. It has a client library. It has the second component named as JSON and the browser drivers and real browsers.
Hmm.
What the library does is it sends the commands to JSON, that is a JavaScript object notation. Then it passes the command to the browser
JSON,
drivers
but
whose
JSON
role.
just
Sir, it takes the command from the client library and pass it on to the browser drivers.
no. It takes a command and converts it into JSON.
Okay, sir.
Command is not in JSON. Command may be in Java, right?
Okay, sir.
Mhm.
It takes it from the client library and it transfer to the browser drivers by converting it into JSON.
Right.
Okay, sir. So it
And
takes
that
any input from the language and it converts it into JSON.
right.
And then it sends it to browser drivers. And as you told, like Gecko driver or IDE driver, which needs to be on the client machine, and
Hmm.
then it passes on to the real browser over HTTP servers.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, this is very important over
yes.
HTTP server. And then what the real browser do? Real browser performs an action and gives the response back to the browser driver over HTTP
Okay.
server.
Mhm.
Right or not?
Right, sir.
Mhm.
Clear to everyone?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Rupa, should I move further?
Well, could you go to back to the other slide? Yeah, to get, so get request, response will be generated at the browser end, and it will be sent to the HTTP to the browser driver. Okay,
Right.
so is those the methods that we'll be using
Yes,
to?
yes. Post and
Okay.
get are the methods which are used in API, and you need to go in so much detail. But when you are doing some action and you are sending some data to the real
Mhm.
browser, that is post. Like you are
Okay.
sending the URL address. If you want to
Mhm.
open some URL, that is a post request. And when
Mhm.
you want to get some data, that is a get request. Like
Okay.
you want to get a text of some element,
Mhm.
that is a
Okay.
get request.
All
Right?
right. Yeah.
Rupa, clear?
So this one is a Java format, or it can be like it can accept in
JSON
any
is a
language.
universal format which can
Okay,
be
sir.
which any language
JavaScript
It
object
understands.
multiplication.
okay, it can accept any language. Like it can accept Ruby or
Man,
any language from the.
this is the first thing which I told you. Like
Okay.
before that, there was XML. Now it's
Yes, sir.
JSON, which is universal.
Then why its name is Java script?
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Selenium components. Selenium is not a single tool, but it has 4 components. Selenium Integrated Development Environment (IDE), Selenium Remote Control (RC), WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. And Selenium IDE is Selenium Integrated Development Environment is the simplest framework in the Selenium suite and is the easiest one to learn. Right? Now, friends, it is completely separate thing from Selenium WebDriver, and it was developed by Shinya Kasatani of Japan, and it developed he developed separately in Japan, and then donated it to Selenium project in 2006. And I don't know whether he did donated it to Selenium project for free or he charged some money. Only thing is that I know that he donated.
Mm.
Okay. Selenium ID is a Firefox and a Chrome plugin which records and playbacks user interactions with the browser. Users can create only simple scripts based on record and playback feature. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now I'm coming to Selenium. That how it was invented.
Mhm.
See friends, Selenium was created by Jason Huggins, an engineer at ThoughtWorks in 2004.
Mm.
You know that ThoughtWorks is a very big name. It's a very good company and it's even in India. It's in
Oh.
Noida. It's in Americas actually. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, Everyone remember, right? That there's a test on Monday.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So everyone comes with a pen and paper and just for rough work, and I will be solving your giving you test and then you will be giving the answers. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So friend, Selenium was created by Jason Huggins. He was an engineer at ThoughtWorks. While doing manual testing repeatedly, he created a program that would automatically control the browser actions and named his program as JavaScript Test Runner. Right?
Mhm.
he developed a program in JavaScript, and that's why he named it as JavaScript Test Runner. And I think you also know that in the browser we can interact with any component with a JavaScript. You know this, that with JavaScript, we
Mhm.
JavaScript is a universal language with which we can interact with the components of browser, right? Or not?
Mhm.
Gaurav?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So seeing the potential of his program, he later renamed it as Selenium Core. He renamed his program as Selenium Core because that became very popular. He renamed it from JavaScript Test Runner to Selenium Core. 1 minute. Okay, we require to install both Selenium Core, a JavaScript program, and a web server containing the web application being tested on the same computer. So they are in the same domain. This issue of Selenium Core came to be known as same origin policy. Friends, what happened is that when he developed the Selenium Core or JavaScript tester, at that time there was an issue that any application he needs to test should be on his own computer.
Mhm.
Like you want to test a Google website, then Google website's whole code should be on your computer. Then only you can test. Like you want to test Flipkart website or you want to test Amazon. You can only test it if its whole code is on your computer, and that is not possible. So this was the issue with his program, and this issue came to be known as same origin policy. Okay. So due to these limitations imposed by Selenium Core, another ThoughtWorks engineer, Paul Hammond, created a server that will act as a HTTP proxy so that the browser understands that Selenium Core and the web application tested are coming from the same domain.
Mhm.
This system is came to be known as Selenium Remote Control or Selenium 1. Okay, that what he does is that he created a proxy with which it looked that Google code is on the same computer or Amazon code is on the same computer, and then he had to run a server for it on his computer, and that whole combination of server and Selenium core is came to be known as Selenium remote control, right? Once you
Okay.
start the server, you can send Selenium core commands using your client library. Selenium RC has become obsolete since Selenium 3. Okay. Paul haven't developed Selenium RC, but now that is obsolete because of Selenium 3. Since WebDriver is more powerful, right?
Mhm.
Since Simon Stewart in 2006 created cross-platform testing framework that could control the browser from the OS level. He created something, WebDriver, he created something that can control the browser from the OS level and does not need not rely on the JavaScript of the browser, right?
Mhm.
So WebDriver has its own implementation for each browsers, and browser driver interact with the browser API instead of injecting JavaScript to drive browsers. Clear to you?
Oh, okay.
And WebDriver and Selenium Web RC merged to form. Later, he donated that WebDriver to Selenium project. And again, I don't know where he donated it for free or charge something. But the thing is that he donated, and then they came to be known as Selenium R2, Selenium 2, with WebDriver being the core, and then the Selenium 3, and then the now in some time there would be Selenium 4.
Mhm.
But this is the architecture which is not going to change,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So just see this diagram. First of all, the person developed Selenium uh,
4.
Selenium core. He developed it in 2004. You remember the name or not? That's not important. Jason Huggins. And then Selenium RC was developed. I don't know in which year. I think the same year. Then in 2006, Simon Stewart developed WebDriver, and actually he Selenium 2 or Selenium WebDriver was released in 2011, but they were merged together. They were Simon Stewart donated Selenium donated this to Selenium project in 2008, right? You don't
Mhm.
no, don't need to remember this. Remember this for you need to remember this only for your interview purpose. Either you don't need to. This is not used in your coding. Never. Right.
Right.
So this thing also clear that how WebDriver came into the picture. Gaurav, clear?
Yes.
Now the Selenium grid. The Selenium grid, we will be doing it later, but you just remember that when we will do Selenium grid, there will be concept of hub and nodes. You can see the diagram. There will be one hub and there can be many nodes. That I'm running one node on Safari, another on Windows, another on Android. So there can be many nodes, and that is what Selenium grid is. That I'm allowing parallel automation, right?
Mhm.
So Selenium grid was developed by Patrick Lightbody with the idea of minimizing Selenium test execution time as much as possible. He first named it as hosted QA. He later renamed it as Selenium Grid and donated to Selenium project. It aims to run on several machines or OS and several browsers by distributing them.
Mhm.
Selenium Grid works on the concept of hub and node, where hub is a server machine and node is a client machine. Right, man?
Mm.
Mhm.
So, okay, these are the these are cons of Selenium IDE. That wise it is not so much used. It can this is a tool is available in only in Firefox and Chrome plugin. It can create only prototype of tests You can say only a outer framework of test, not a complete test, because it has no support for iteration and conditional operations. This tool is very slow as compared to WebDriver. Okay,
Mhm.
so QTP versus Selenium. Selenium is free of source and open source and free to use, whereas QTP is a paid commercial tool. Selenium, we can run different browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, IE, Opera, etc. Whereas it runs only in Firefox, IE, and Chrome. Okay, Selenium supports various operating systems like Mac, Linux, Windows. It can be set up only in Windows and mainframe, right? QTP can be set up.
Mhm.
Selenium supports execution on mobile devices. QTP needs HP paid product at Mobile Center to run on mobile devices. Okay.
Okay.
Selenium can execute tests while browser is minimized. QTP needs to have the application under test to be visible on the desktop. Selenium can execute tests in parallel. QTP needs a HP Quality Center to execute parallelly, which is again a paid product. Clear?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you please answer me this question? The quiz
Yes,
part.
Selenium is known.
Why Selenium is known as JSON wire protocol?
Because it converts the commands into JSON and
Before
sends
sending it,
them.
before
Yeah.
sending to real browser. What is the role of browser driver in WebDriver architecture?
It should forward it to real browsers
It
over
it
HTTP.
It sends JSON request to real browsers over HTTP and receives the JSON response from the real browser
and
and,
sends it back to the driver.
and sends it back to the JSON or to a client library, you can say. Which two things are needed for Selenium project?
Jar and WebDriver.
And browser driver.
Yeah. Jar and WebDriver. WebDriver
Jars.
is
No, WebDriver is just a Selenium
That's
API.
a tool.
okay.
Jar and browser driver.
Okay.
Clear or not?
Yeah.
Jar or and browser drivers,
Yes.
right?
Mhm. Yes.
What you are saying that WebDriver is contained in a jar, right? So
Mhm.
we will need one jar. Second thing, we will need browser drivers, right? We need to keep browser drivers on our machine. How you can install Selenium IDE? Hmm?
As a plugin to Chrome and Firefox.
Yes, this is the answer. The plugin to Chrome and Firefox. When was Selenium invented and who created it? This is the interview question.
2004.
2004. And who created it?
Jason Huggins.
Jason Huggins. Which two components merged to form Selenium 2?
CN
Mercury.
WebDriver.
RC and
Oh,
WebDriver.
Selenium
converse of
RC
RT.
And
plus,
WebDriver.
yeah,
WebDriver.
Selenium RC plus
Okay.
WebDriver. For what purpose Selenium Grid is used?
Running the program parallelly on different nodes.
Very good. Why Selenium WebDriver is more popular than QTP?
It's free.
Open source
It's
and
free. It's free. Does more.
It is saying something. Okay. It is just writing the answer. Okay.
open source
Why Selenium WebDriver is more popular than QTP? It's
Free.
Yes, sir.
free.
No cost.
And it's again QTP is a paid tool. Okay.
No, on
Now,
multiple, it can run on multiple browsers.
yeah. Okay, this is the homework which you have, do it if you revise this PPT. Just revise this PPT. Okay.
Mhm.
And please
sir.
describe in detail Selenium WebDriver architectural flow with the diagram. And please make note of two major differences between QTP and Selenium. Just revise this PPT. Okay, I will be sending
Yes.
it to you.
All right.
Are we good to go
Yes,
Yep.
today?
sir. Yes, sir.
So I am stopping sharing
Okay.
Okay, sir.
and
Bye.
best of luck for the Monday.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
be prepared. Okay,
Have a
and
great weekend, guys.
thank you.